Entanglement. Written by Vaughn Ashby. Narrated by Sydney Fry. For a brief second, it felt like the inside of the refrigerator merged with Noah. A thought and feeling that he never considered he'd feel in his lifetime. Logically, pain accompanied the merger. Who knew being a household appliance hurt so much? Every piece of Noah was in pain. No, beyond pain. Every cell pleaded to no longer exist. The atoms and particles that held him together gave up their connections, and while Noah was saved from whatever those creatures had been, he technically didn't exist at the moment. Dying was a prerequisite for this type of transportation. It was better not to think about it, except right now, it was all Noah yearned for. Even while technically dead, he wanted to die more. If he could yell, he would have. If he could have killed himself, well, he would have done that too. The pain changed. It was less intense. He was able to think, but it was still there, like an acid slowly eating him. It burned, and he could do nothing to shake the feeling. Then his eyes opened. He could feel his body. His arms wrapped around himself. The pain still there, still burning. A single streetlight stood above him, darkness at the edges of the light. There were murmurs around him. He fell over in pain, his eyes trying to adjust to the light. "Hello?" He tried to get out, but it was painful to speak. A woman rushed over to him. She looked familiar, but he couldn't think of how he knew her or her name. "How is he here?" the woman said. Another woman rushed over to him. She had the same face as the other woman, or at least what his eyes would let him see. "I don't know. What do we do?" Another voice said from behind the two women at his side. "This hasn't happened before." Her voice was shaky. "He's in pain," the first one said as she touched his shoulder. It burned where she touched him. "It's okay," she said, trying to comfort Noah. "What does this mean?" the one from behind said. Their voices all sounded so similar. It was getting harder for Noah to tell them apart. "It means his Vanessa must be the leading Vanessa." "Is that why we're having issues with her? Maybe? What does this all mean? More importantly, how is he here?" The voices went silent. They were thinking. Who were they? How did he get himself into this mess? "We need to activate the backup. Something has gone very wrong." "What's the backup?" "No, we can't. It'll fuck up the continuity if you're wrong. We could lose everything and we'd be back to square one. Or we could be dead." At the word dead, the pain intensified again. The women, along with the light post, vanished. Again, it was only pain. Again, he wanted to die. Then, the inside of the refrigerator was back, and he puked all over it. He pushed at the door. It didn't open. His panic level increased. The vomit smell wasn't helping. He threw up again. "Help!" Noah yelled as he banged on the inside of the refrigerator's door. What the fuck was he doing inside here? Had he been kidnapped and locked in here? Who were those women he saw? He turned and kicked the door. It still didn't budge. His breathing increased. It felt like the air was getting thinner, even if it wasn't. His body tried to throw up again, but nothing came out. Then the door opened. Clean, non-vomit scented air rushed in. He gasped as he fell out. "You okay?" Bill asked as he helped Noah up. "Did that idiot get the colors mixed up again? Did he tell you white or black for living things?" "What?" Noah had no idea what the man was talking about. The last thing he remembered was getting ready to head to the hospital. The procedure was today. What about his son? Noah scrambled to get to his feet, but he fell back into the vomit-filled fridge. "Lang, get in here!" the men bellowed to the other room. This place looked like a dump. Noah felt out of place here. It didn't help that he didn't recognize the place, or the guy who pulled him out of the fridge. "What?" Lang said as he walked back into the room with the donut in hand. "I'm on break. What's he doing back already?" "He came back in that." Bill pointed to the vomit-coated mess that was the refrigerator. "Gross. Did you get everything?"